First of all, I have to disappoint you. Our talk is actually not about strawberries. It's about something much more important. About every fifth woman, not only in this room, but on this planet, that is statistically seen menstruating right now. Don't worry, I won't ask you to raise your hand now. But in total, in the whole world, we are speaking about 2 billion, as we call them, bloody women. That's more than the population of China, North and South America together. But even though menstruation happens to every girl and every woman every single month, people do not talk about it. So why is this topic still such a big taboo? Let me ask you, would you ask the woman sitting right next to you right now whether she's currently having her period and how she's feeling? Probably not, right? Do you even talk about menstruation to your partner, your mother, your sister, or your best friend? Menstruation, believe it or not, is one of the last taboos of our society, even though a woman spends more than 3,000 days of her life on her period, so between 6 and 7 years on a row bleeding. To start off with, there's this interesting difference between blood and blood. How do you feel about this picture? Excited to see the latest action movie? And how do you feel about this picture? Slightly disgusted? Irritated? That's interesting, because more or less both pictures show the same: blood. Nevertheless, most people don't have any problem when watching a bloody movie where people get killed, while they feel more than disgusted when seeing a bloody woman. So, why does menstruation make most people, and I'm speaking of men and women, feel that uncomfortable, although it affects half of the world population, and it's actually the reason that all human beings exist?
If we look back in history, menstruation has always been something frightening and something forbidden on the one hand, but also something mysterious and powerful on the other. And the word taboo derives from the Polynesian word tabua. And tabua means something holy, but in a certain context, it also means menstruation. So from the existence of humankind, menstruation has always been something between adorable and despicable. So therefore, the perfect taboo. And we started doing research about this topic around 7 years ago. And we came across the ancient tampons and pad advertisements where menstruation was showing like this: women dancing on flowery fields and blue liquid. And we thought this is so weird and so unrealistic, because our blood is neither blue nor do we feel like dancing all the time. So over the last 50 years, those advertisements haven't changed a lot. And although we reached 21st century, big companies are still afraid of showing menstruation like it is. Bloody red and not always fun for girls.
So that gives us one important reason to talk about periods. Another reason is the economical, cultural, environmental, and health aspect of menstruation in our society. Let me show you some figures. Did you know that 30% of all women suffer from period cramps in a way they cannot handle their daily routine in these days? And that's not just a problem of each individual woman. The costs for the European economy derived from some sort of period cramps exceeded 30 billion euros in just 1 year. So that makes it clear that periods are not just a woman's issue, but it's actually a matter of everyone, including your CEO. Another economical, but also political effect of not talking about menstruation is the cost for sanitary protection. Personally, I was really shocked when I first learned about the fact that tampons and pads are classified as luxury items in many countries, and they are taxed with the highest possible tax. So in a country like Austria or Germany, that means that a woman spends over her lifetime between 3,000 and 5,000 euros just on tampons and pads. Considering everything that a woman needs for her period, like painkillers, etc., these costs can even exceed 10,000 euros and more. That fact already led to a political revolution. After petitions and protests of women all over the world, countries like UK or France reduced the so-called tampon tax. And even President Obama stated recently, "Period is not a luxury. I suspect this tax exists because men were making the laws when those taxes were passed. So as you can see, there is still a lot of awareness raising needed, not only on a political, but also on a cultural level, right?
Well, we in the Western world and in the privileged situation being able to debate about the tampon tax, most girls in developing countries do not even have a vague idea what happens to them when they get their first period. So some think they are dying and some others feel totally disgusted about their own body. And we recently traveled to India and talked a lot to women about their approach to menstruation. And we discovered that they face one huge problem: the lack of access to feminine hygiene products. So imagine this: you wake up in the morning with your period and you have no tampon or pad at home, and you cannot go to the supermarket to buy those necessary products because you cannot afford them. So for us, this is unimaginable, right? So the access to feminine hygiene products is one of the most meaningful indicators for the social and economic development of a country. And in rural India, 1 in 5 girls drops out of school after they started menstruating. And besides that, they face other challenges. They are not allowed to sleep in the same room as their family members when they are menstruating, are not allowed to go to the temple, or even touch certain objects. So while in some parts of the world, women are still fighting for getting that access, a broad discussion about the ingredients of feminine hygiene products recently started in Europe. Because we are all scrutinizing almost every part of our lives. We want to know what's in our food and in our cosmetics. But have you ever thought, what's in my tampon? As we are still talking about a taboo, women do not know about the health and environmental impact of their feminine hygiene products. 45 billion feminine hygiene products pollute our planet every year. And the problem is that 90% of those products consist of a plastic cellulose mix. So that one single tampon needs up to 500 years to biodegrade. And this is not just an environmental, it's also a health problem, because recent studies found harmful substances in tampons, pads, and panty liners. The good news: sustainable and healthy alternatives exist, some of them for more than 80 years. So you can find organic tampons and pads in different shops, and also reusable products are becoming more and more popular because they're healthy, environmental friendly, and can help women to save money. So one menstrual cup, for instance, saves up to 2,000 tampons.
What we observe is that questioning the products you use every month is key for breaking the taboo of menstruation. In the last 2 years, a menstrual revolution movement has spread all over the world. Women like us are tired of feeling ashamed for the period. That's why we believe it is time to start the conversation around menstruation. And fortunately, it's not just us. Women all over the world are now fighting for that issue. And the Cosmopolitan magazine even titled "The Year the Period Went Public." Different actions by artists and activists like Ruby Kaur, for instance, caught the attention of a broad public. What she did was the following. She posted this picture of a woman lying on a bed with a blood stain on her backside on Instagram. What do you think happened? Instagram immediately removed the picture, saying it was not suitable. An international shitstorm followed, claiming that it was okay to post pictures of half-naked women, while a fully dressed woman with a blood stain was not suitable. As a consequence, Instagram apologized and published the picture again. Another remarkable action for breaking the taboo of menstruation was a woman who ran the London Marathon while she was on her period. Well, nothing special, you might think, but she did that without using any type of menstrual product. And even one of the most popular female celebrities in the world, Barbie, is now already shown menstruating on the web. So, as social media is such a powerful mirror of our society, these are all signs for an increasing awareness for the taboo of menstruation, and that each and every individual can actually make a difference.
So it's actually your choice. It's your choice whether menstruation remains a taboo, and whether you, your sister, your wife, or even your daughter, so the next generation, will feel ashamed about their body or see menstruation as a normal and natural part of their lives. And our vision is that one day all 2 billion menstruating women on this planet do not feel ashamed, and they have a choice. And this includes the access to healthy and sustainable feminine hygiene products. Because we think this is not just a woman's right, it's a human right. So please help us spreading the word.
Let's break this bloody taboo together. Thank
Thank
you.
you.